What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo, and today we're going to be talking about some of the sellers in the NBA season. Well, we're going to be talking more so about the trade season in general, but I do want to talk about some sellers. More specifically, because I don't think that we actually have that much sellers this year, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens actually. Now, I want to pull up some teams that I think are going to be possibly selling, what they are going to be giving up, how much in demand these players are, and things like that. It's probably not going to be like something like crazy, but I do think that there are definitely going to be a lot of teams that actually want to make some moves. So first things first, I think that there are a lot more buyers than there are sellers. I think every single top team in the NBA is going to be wanting a piece of a pie that is honestly so far and few between that they just need to see what they just need to really jump on what's really good. So first things first, we have the Chicago Bulls. It seems like DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Vooch are, or more so, these two are not seeing eye to eye. Not only that, but I think that some of their stints are pretty much over at this point. And overall, because of the downward spiral that the Chicago Bulls have been going through, even though they have won 2 games in a row, they may bounce back. But if they don't, I think that this is definitely going to be something to really look at in terms of trading. Them going younger, they don't have their first round picks for a couple of seasons because of the Vooch trade and I believe the DeMar trade. So that's going to be something to look at. I think another seller actually is going to be the Utah Jazz, maybe. They may want to get rid of some players. Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley, maybe even Kelly Olynyk, honestly. Again, if they don't want to make a playoff push, I think that this is definitely going to be something that they could really look at. I would honestly keep Jared Vanderbilt, but even a guy like Malik Beasley, I would try to trade. I would also try to keep Colin Sexton, again, a younger player who's honestly showed a lot more success than he was really anticipated for. So I think that these are a couple guys that you really want to see traded. I'd still stick with the core of Larry Markkinen, Jared Vanderbilt, and Colin Sexton, though. Maybe even Rudy Gay, they would want to trade. But again, Rudy Gay is actually on the Taylor end of his career, so I'm not sure if that would really work. This is also a really big one. So it seems like Bojan Bogdanovic is actually, he may get traded, Right now, the value of his contract is really high, especially because he's averaging almost 50, 40, and 90. I would say that there are a lot of teams that could really use him. He's a power forward, I believe. Let me just check that one more time. Yeah, he's a power forward around 6'7". I think that teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, not the Denver Nuggets, not the Memphis Grizzlies, maybe the Celtics, not them, but like a team like Brooklyn, not them. Damn, hold on, I'm bugging. But I think that some of these teams could really use a new power forward. Let me just check out some more. Does Jeremy Grant play power forward for them, or no? He doesn't. He plays shooting, not shooting guard, but small forward. Oh, he does. Huh? I didn't know that. But either way, I think that this team's still successful, so I don't really think that they're gonna really just trade for another piece of players. But I also think that the Warriors are probably gonna trade for a bigger body. So this may be another thing. I'm not really sure, but I do expect a lot of teams to go after a guy like Bojan Bogdanovic. Oh, also the Lakers. The Lakers are also going to be a really big pick for some of these teams. Though I will say they don't really have that many tradable contracts. They only have like Patrick Beverley's contract to trade. I think he makes like what? He makes around $15 million a year, I think. Let me just check again. Yeah, he makes around 13. So they could trade some stuff like him, Nunn, and I'd trade these two. These two are they could definitely get you like a solid player. Jay Crowder. The thing about Jay Crowder though is he's up here. He does never played a game for them this year. The thing about Jay Crowder though is that I'm not sure if he's really that valuable when we have a lot of other players. Also, there's one more thing to note. This trade deadline will not be nearly as good as last year's. Like last year's was generational. I think that this year is going to be a lot more tame because there aren't really that many sellers. Not only that, but because of the amount of teams that just don't have what it takes to really, trade for these guys, I think it's really hard for us to say that these guys are going to get traded. Not only that, but like some star players are not like even available. I'll get into one that's going to be available besides DeMar and Levine, but yeah, Jay Crowder in of himself is not really like the type of guy that you really like send full house for. You just trade a player and maybe like a second round, but again, Jay Crowder is probably not going to be like as valuable as some of these other players. Which I want to talk about Atlanta last, actually. But the Toronto Raptors, if they are going to keep going down this path of just losing games, I fully expect them to go in one or two directions. And what they're going to rather trade around Pascal Siakam, or they're going to trade Pascal Siakam. Two completely different things. I don't know what happens if. Okay, let me be like 100% clear. I don't think that they're actually going to trade Pascal Siakam. I don't. But what I will say is this. If Pascal is keeping on this pace and they're still losing games, I'm not sure if he has like really a roster spot on this or no, let me not say it like that, but I'm not sure if his roster spot on this roster is going to be as defined. I won't say if he's going to be this type of player that this team really needs going forward, especially if they're going to be like a lower seed. Which is why I think that, I think a decent amount of teams would actually go for him. I don't think that they actually have the facilities to actually go for him, but I think that they should. This team, I don't think that they actually have the contracts to go for him, but I think that they should. Again, Golden State is always going to be in these rumors. I think Atlanta, Miami probably doesn't. They don't want Pascal, but yeah, I think a bunch of teams could use Pascal. Even like the not the Toronto Raptors, but the Portland Trailblazers could use him. Sacramento Kings was actually a very, very dark. I would love to see Pascal on that team, actually. That would be a really cool fit. But let's talk about it. News came out earlier. I may make a short about this. Trae Young may actually request a trade soon. I'm not sure how that's going to look per se. I'm not sure if he's actually going to get traded this year. But let's say if he does. Another team that would actually be a really good fit for him would actually be Chicago. I think that the Lakers would also be a good fit. But again, one thing about the Atlanta Hawks that I do want to like very, very heavily preface is that they will need draft picks if they're going to go for some of these trades with Trae Young. If the Lakers really want to trade for Trae Young, they would have to have like a 3-man trade. And the third team would have to send in, I think that they would have to send in some picks in order for Atlanta to actually make that trade. And not only that, but they would actually get something of value. And I'm not sure if there's really any other team that would really want that. So, yeah. Now, I will say, also Terrence Ross may get traded, and the Washington Wizards may trade, but I'm not sure if they're... Kyle Kuzma is literally the only player that you trade for on this roster. Bradley Beal is kind of cooked right now, and I think that Chris Sapps, I would not trade for that. But again, a lot of players would love to, or a lot of teams would love to have a Kyle Kuzma. Hey, if the Bucks want to, get Kyle Kuzma. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, going back to the whole Trae Young thing, he would be an awesome fit for the Lakers. He'd also be an awesome fit for the Chicago Bulls. Looking at some of these other teams. Oh, also Dallas should probably make some moves. Though I think that Luka is already in basketball hell, so I'm not really sure what's going to be going on over there. I think that's pretty much it though for Atlanta. I think that there's only like really like three teams that really could trade for him. That probably actually a dark horse for Trae Young could be the Miami. Imagine Miami, but without Kyle Lowry, they have Trae Young. That is like a tender, man. That is what I'm talking about. If the Miami Heat had Trae Young instead of Kyle Lowry, bro, this team would be dangerous. But yeah, I think that's probably gonna be it for me. I'm probably just gonna tell it like Trace Heated is almost here. So yeah, it's been your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo. I'm gonna be uploading a lot more consistently, as you guys have seen with the shorts. I'm also gonna be uploading these videos more consistently. I'm almost done making my top 20, so just making sure that once that's done, we're gonna have a lot more videos coming out. So yeah, it's been your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo. Subscribe, like, and peace out.